Paul, our chief guest who's just joined from a meeting, and sir has a very busy schedule and another meeting lined up. So welcome, sir, Professor Vinod Paul. I think Professor Vinod Paul, sir, does not require any introduction to this group. Professor Vinod Paul, as most of you know, is member Health Niti Aayog, Government of India, where he needs the major verticals which are present in the Niti Aayog, the health and the nutrition verticals. He leads the Government of India Coronavirus Health Experts Task Force. And I'm sure most of you have seen and learned from Sir's briefings which happen every day on the television and in the media. Sir has been pivotal in formulating the Poshan Abhiyan and Ayushman Bharat initiative. Sir is currently the chairman of the Board of Governors of the Medical Council of India, and under his august leadership, there has been a tremendous shift and there is a reinvigoration of the medical education in India. Sir is a pediatrician by training and has been a faculty at the Department of Pediatrics at All India Institute of Medical Sciences, New Delhi, where he was heading the department. Sir is closely associated with India's health policy and programs in various roles for over 4 decades now. Sir has chaired the Technical Advisory Group on Women's and Children's Health for WHO Southeast region and co-chaired the board of the Partnership for Maternal, Newborn and Child Health, PMNCH. Sir is a fellow of all the 3 science academies of the country and a recipient of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar Centenary Award for Excellence in Biomedical Research and Public Health Champion Award. Sir is globally recognized academic and public health exponent and was conferred the prestigious Ehsan Dogromakchi Family Health Foundation Prize by WHO at 2018 World Health Assembly. So with these words, I welcome Professor Vinod Paul, sir, who despite intensely busy schedule today has taken time out for this unique initiative of the communities of practice. Welcome, sir.
Thank you very much, Vikram, and good afternoon. It's an honor to be amongst colleagues committed to scaling up quality, creating capacity in the space of quality. I'm so honored to be here. Pleased to see my colleague, Dr. Neena Raina, to know Dr. Rajesh Mehta on board, and had a chance to listen to exciting and inspiring talk by Dr. Peter Lackman. Thank you so much. And I'm also seeing Dr. Srivastav out there. Thank you. Good afternoon. First and foremost, I bring to you the greetings from the Government of India, and also gratitude on behalf of the government for taking forward the agenda of quality in healthcare in a systematic way, and working with partners who are leaders in their own rights within the country, outside the country, and of course, in particular, working with the World Health Organization. I'm so pleased that the quality of care initiative in the country has been led by the maternal and child health community, which is in a way very apt. And we have shown that a capacity can be built, initiatives can be taken, positive stories, case studies can be generated, research can be mounted, and above all, this can be embedded in the national programs. Lakshya program embraces quality paradigm, and this goes as a tribute to the pioneers of quality improvement movement in the maternal, newborn, and child health space, including my very dear colleague, Dr. Ashok Deorari, and Dr. Vikram, your entire team. So very proud that this very important facet of the healthcare system is being enriched by very dear colleagues in our fraternity of child and maternal health. Quality essentially is the degree to which we comply to the best standards possible. Quality is about reaching an endeavor to reach the highest standard, the 24 karat gold, in our work, in our systems, in our products, and in our activities, in our performance in the health system in this particular context. And importantly, it can be learned. It can be systematically learned. It can be systematically built. It can be systematically disseminated. And that is a science which I'm so pleased that institutions like the IHI and have brought into this country, and we are very grateful to these very esteemed partner organizations who have helped us embrace these concepts, who have helped us to understand these concepts in a very simple way, and very credit to them that working with the World Health Organization, the paradigm of quality improvement has been adapted to the Indian culture, Indian approach, and very brought to a very practical level in our diverse settings. I also congratulate the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, who took initiatives to talk not only about scale up of services, but also to bring in quality in the care of mothers and children, in particular through the Lakshya initiative. We must remember, that's my second point truly, that for India to emerge as a leader in the space of knowledge, in the space of healthcare, in the space of welfare of people, and also as our rightful place in the high table of the world, we have to embrace quality in every which way. We cannot be just looking at scale. Scale is important. Services should reach people, processes should reach people, products should reach people. But India cannot be a great nation in today's times, in the 21st century, unless our processes, our algorithms, our products, our services, our culture is of the highest quality, the world-class quality, on a daily basis. It's all about a war of quality. If we have to, in today's context, if we have to compete out and move forward, I think the very notion of quality of services, of our products, manufacturing, our sciences, our algorithms, our care, of course, our vaccine, tomorrow there'll be a vaccine, that's what we were discussing just a short while ago on COVID, has to be of quality. And in this regard, bringing a culture of quality in healthcare is so very important. We are known to provide good services. Our doctors, our physicians, our nurses are respected. Our specialists are respected the world over. But then our hospitals have to function in an efficient manner, in a respectful manner. Our casualty of emergency departments have to run efficiently. Our ambulances have to be quick in responding in an efficient way. Our outcomes have to be of the highest quality. Our delays, there cannot be there in the delivery of services, and so on and so forth. The various facets of quality have to be addressed. We cannot accept that for example, the breastfeeding rate is to be anything less than 90% in the community. And breast milk feeding has to be 80%, if not more, for low birth weight babies as well. So indeed, this has to be a way of life. This has to be a habit. And I'm so glad that I saw a slide which talks about quality as a habit. Yes, indeed, the time has come to look at quality as a habit. When we do certain things with high quality and high excellence, that shows our potential. But when we do it on a daily basis as a habit, shows us what we truly are. And we want to be known for high quality work on a daily basis. And that cannot be an occasional manifestation of our potential. No, it has to be there on a daily basis. So one of my asks for the team that is hearing us all at this moment is that we have to create our own hotspots of excellence. Those of us who are around the table today, we must ask this question: am I practicing quality on a daily basis? I heard Dr. Lackman's presentation. He talked about, he indicated things of this nature, a network of people who practice quality. So we have to practice this. We cannot only preach. It must be a daily way of life in the newborn nurseries that we represent ourselves on a daily basis, not just occasionally. We cannot preach what we do not practice. And people listen to us and do what we do, not what we talk. And therefore, I call for a movement of practitioners of quality on a daily basis. I call for a movement of leaders who demonstrate systematic process of quality improvement on a daily basis, in a dynamic basis, to improve the services of their respective units, respective hospitals, respective services continuously, and push the paradigm of quality to the best possible extent. It's about the culture. I think we have made a beginning of embracing the methodology of QI. We have learned to take great steps how to do it, and thanks to people like Dr. Datta and teams at AIIMS, I know for sure, and other teams. We have learned that. We have started to do it. We know how it is to be done. We have embraced this idea into our lives. We have trained our nurses, we have trained our colleagues, and this circle will increase. But I think we still are not, into a situation where, like some other nations and other systems, quality is a habit and a work culture on a daily basis. That there are no delays, there are efficiencies, that our records are of a certain quality, our practices and processes are of a certain quality, our delivery of services is of a quality that we can be proud of. And occasional, high quality work that you do shows our potential, but what we do on a daily basis is what we represent. I'm repeating that statement again, because I would like to see, if nothing else, hotspots of high quality work, high quality institutions around us, and they are then inspiring beacons for other people. I would like to see, as another ask from colleagues who are on the video conference today, we would like to create a postgraduate program on quality improvement, which the Medical Council of India or a successor institution, National Medical Council, may like to make it as an essential reading to be done by all the postgraduates and all the teachers in a systematic way. I like to inform here that a year ago, a compulsory research methodology course online has been made compulsory for all postgraduates and all teachers to undergo, and they have to pass it. It is available on the SWAYAM portal, and it has been developed by the Indian Council of Medical Research. The postgraduates of today, of all disciplines, orthopedics, pediatrics, you name it, ophthalmology, anything, will not be allowed to appear in the examination unless they go through that systematic research methodology course and are successful. We can use the same paradigm for QI tomorrow if you people come forward. You haven't done it, so we haven't done. If you had done, we could have become a part of a reform process that Vikram, you are referring to. So think about such initiatives which can be big levers of quality journey for all of us in this nation. And certainly, in order to promote a program of that nature, there has to be other ways in which we reach out to the students and create this movement, not just localized to mother and child health, but to across all the disciplines, not just localized only through limited channels of government and professional agencies, but through a channel like the National Medical Commission, where it will be mandated for all disciplines, for all walks of our profession. So I would urge you to consider such an approach. Do work with other specialists and other stakeholders, such as the medicine, academics and surgery academics. But the time has come that we break the barriers of the mother and child discipline, and we become the agents of change on a wider landscape of this great nation. With these words, my gratitude for the opportunity, and I'm so happy to be a part of this. I'm so happy that in the last 5 to 8 years, this movement has picked up. I thank Dr. Neena and her team for being a huge catalyst for this so very important and critical paradigm of healthcare that you have facilitated, you have resourced, and you have excited so many of us to contribute our time in this area. Thank you very much. Have a great day. God bless you. Jai Hind.